In this video, I want to talk about the 4 different income streams of the top 1% of YouTubers, while where most YouTubers will just monetize from AdSense, when in reality, just using AdSense is not the best strategy because you have to wait months to get approved for YouTube monetization. YouTube then takes 45% of all the CPMs that brands pay YouTube for ads, and your CPM depends on your audience. So you don't necessarily control it, right? The people who come to your content are the people who are attracted to your content, and you don't necessarily get to control the specific CPM there. And monetizing of AdSense requires you to get 1,000 subscribers and 4,000 watch hours, and then you have to wait for it to get approved. And most people will gravitate towards monetizing with AdSense because that is just the most natural path when you first start. But in reality, there are 4 different ways that the top 1% of YouTubers, they don't just monetize with one of these methods, they use all 4, or they use a combination of 1 or 2 of these, which allows them to make $10,000, $20,000, $30,000 every single month consistently with multiple streams of income from their YouTube videos. And I'm going to break that down today, and I'm going to rank it from worst to best and where you should get started. So let's get into it. The very first income stream outside of AdSense is sponsorships. So it's when brands pay you a flat fee in order to mention them in a video. So this is great because you get a big paycheck for one video, you don't need your own product, and this is also easy to understand. And oftentimes there are brands who will reach out to you for sponsorships, or you could also reach out directly to them. So really there are 2 types of sponsorships. One is a dedicated video, meaning that let's say it's an AI tool and you have a video solely talking about that specific AI tool, and that will pay a little bit more from a sponsorship standpoint. And then there is a dedicated segment. So that means you talk 30 seconds, a minute inside of your video about that specific tool or about that specific product, both of which are considered sponsorships. And typically for these sponsorship deals, either brands will just pay you a flat fee based on whatever rate that you ask. So let's say hey, for a dedicated video, it's $1,000 a video, and then they'll just pay you $1,000 a video. Or you could have some sort of a deal structure that is associated with performance, or associated with the number of views that the video gets, or the number of sales that the product gets. So it could be that, hey, for a dedicated video, it is $500 for a dedicated video, plus 20% of all sales that you drive. So that way it's more performance based, and that way when the sponsorship actually performs, both of you wins, right? Because number one, they get more sales, and number 2, right, you get to earn more, let's say from a 20% affiliate or 20% commission based on your sponsorship, both of which are really great structures, right? But the problem with sponsorships is, number 1, you're hunting deals every single month, right? And these sponsorships don't work as well for smaller subscribers, because what brands will look at for sponsorships is they'll look at the number of subscribers you have, they'll look at your viewership, and if the number of subscribers that you actually have isn't that big of an amount, then the amount that they'll pay you per video is going to be substantially less, right? And sometimes you'll also run into the problem of bad sponsors, right? Where bad sponsors will actually kill trust with your audience. And you also lose creative control because brands will want approval on everything, right? Typically, when brands come to you with a specific sponsorship, they will have in mind, hey, these are certain brand guidelines on things that you should say. And so there are things that you can say about the brand, there are certain things that you cannot say about the brand, and it has to get approved before your video can go live. So my personal take is only take sponsors that you genuinely use, right? You want your use of the sponsorship to feel authentic, right? So for example, if it is some kind of a supplement, right? It is hard to promote a supplement that you don't actually use and you don't actually experience the benefits of. And if you jump from one supplement to another to another to another, eventually that will break the audience trust, right? And the same goes with, let's say you're an educational channel and you're doing AI tools. The same thing goes for that. You only want to take sponsors that you genuinely use, right? Make it feel like here's a tool I use and not a commercial break. And that way it feels integrated, it feels authentic, it feels in line with your brand. And when it feels in line with your brand and it feels in line with your personality, ultimately it will end up performing better. So that's one thing to take into consideration. Number 2, the second way of monetization is services. It's done for you services specifically. So this is my good friend Ryan, and he runs a Google Ads agency. So how it works is that you sell the execution, right? Whether it's editing, scripting, thumbnail, ads, SEO management, whatever your skill is, whatever services there are out there. There are dozens, hundreds, thousands of different services that you can offer out there. You just have to pick one in order to sell. And this is really great, especially if you have an educational channel that is solving a specific problem. If you're an entertainment channel, that's a little bit more difficult. But if you're an educational channel that are solving a specific problem for your audience, typically, if your audience is on the richer side, they have more money, richer demographic, not just like small, tiny businesses, they are much more likely to pay you $1,000, $2,000, $3,000, $10,000 every single month for your service, so that you solve a problem inside of the video and then they just want it done for them because they trust you, they know you, and they know that you can actually execute for them that way. So the good is, right, this is the most money per viewer, right? When you're selling services, typically you can charge higher than if you are selling consulting or you're just selling calls or you're just selling a course. It's the most dollar per viewer. So that means that you can make serious cash with a small audience. So Ryan over here went from making $4,000 every single month to making $16,000 a month in the span of 12 weeks because he offered a Google Ads service, even though he only has, you see over here, 600 subscribers. It's nothing too crazy. And this is also easy to sell, right? You can just tell them, hey, I can do this thing for you, because they really like, know, and trust you from watching your videos. So this is easier to sell, and client results become the next content. What this means is that when you help a client achieve a certain result, you can then turn that into a case study. So it's kind of a flywheel, right? Where you have your content, which attracts the client, and then you go out there and get great results for them, and then you turn that into more content. So it becomes a flywheel of unlimited content that people want to watch, because people want to be on with your journey and they want to see, hey, what are the actual results? Can this person actually deliver on the problem that he solves? So, but there also comes problems with this, right? More clients equals more work, more hiring, more headaches, right? That's kind of the agency model these days. You end up running an agency instead of creating content. So it kind of becomes a chicken and the egg thing, where is it the content that has allowed you to get the clients, or is it the client work that has allowed you to get the clients, right? And your energy can only be split towards one area, and that's really a lot of the challenges when you're a business owner and you are trying to grow on YouTube. Because when you are a business owner, you are focused on growing your business, and YouTube is generally a side thing. And you really want to consider, hey, what is your time allocation between delivering these services and actually creating banger content? And number three, it's also hard to scale without burning out. A lot of people who run agencies, including myself in the past, burned out while trying to do this. So my take, it's great for cash, but don't necessarily get stuck here, right? Narrow your niche, systemize it, raise your price, and reduce your volume, and treat it as phase one. So services are a really easy way to get started. And they are easy to get started because anyone can offer a service these days. AI has made it super duper easy for you to reach a certain amount of scale and allow you to acquire certain skills with regards to delivering these services. And there's a lot of boomer businesses out there that don't necessarily want to do it themselves, or don't understand how AI works, or have the ability, have the capacity to deliver it for themselves. So if you were to make YouTube plus services, I believe is a killer combo, but eventually you'll reach a point where you're running an agency and you're not really creating as much content. So what I recommend is you start low, charge low, slowly raise your prices, and then you have a low volume of clients, which you can then allow you to focus on YouTube and build your brand that way, which is the long-term play. Number three, okay, the third way in order to monetize is with affiliates. So how does affiliates work? So you can see over here inside these screenshots, 11 Labs affiliate link, right, where you have your name all the way at the back of the link, question mark via equals, that is called an affiliate link. So that means that you recommend your product, you drop a link, and you earn a commission every time someone buys. So unlike a sponsorship will typically pay you a flat fee per video. Whereas for affiliates, there is no flat fee per video. It is just a commission that you get every time that someone buys from your specific link. So you don't have to talk to any brands. You literally just get an affiliate link and then you plug it inside your video, or you just put it inside your link in the description. And affiliates is one of those beautiful YouTube businesses because YouTube videos are evergreen, meaning that, hey, one video can pay you for years because these are affiliates that keep compounding as you upload more videos. It fits naturally into educational content, right, where you explain, hey, here's the exact tool, and you don't really need to deliver on anything because it's still not your product. Unlike services, affiliates is not your product, right? So affiliates is one of those really beautiful businesses. If you are really great at generating attention with your YouTube channel that, you know, the top 1% of YouTubers are, and hopefully if you're watching, you get a little bit better when you're watching videos like these, and you don't need to deliver on any product. That means you don't own the business, you solely own the content and you focus all of your energy on the content, and that's really great. So the problem with this is that a lot of affiliates face is that they don't control the product, right? When you don't control the product, the pricing, the landing pages, and the commissions can change, which can ultimately affect how much you earn. And also, pushing bad products trains your audience to stop trusting you, right? So you have to be very consistent and considerate of exactly what different products that you decide to push as an affiliate, right? Typically, when you introduce a new product to your audience will just swarm towards that product. But eventually, they get fatigued by it if there are no updates with that specific product. And what affiliates will do is that they'll go hopping from one product to another product to another product to another product to another product, right? What you actually want to do as an affiliate is you want to have some sort of association of it. It's not just like a one video type relationship. It's you want to consistently talk about this specific product in many of your videos and ideally work your way up towards being one of the top affiliates inside for these specific companies. And when you're one of the top affiliates for these companies, you can then actually influence what decisions that they make. You won't be the final person making the decisions, and most of the time you don't want to be the final person making the decisions and owning the business anyways. What you actually want to do is you want to have some sort of influence on how the landing page works, on how the pricing works, so that you can make more from affiliate marketing. So affiliates is one of those really beautiful businesses where you can just focus on the content, right? And this is really low barrier to start, right? So my take is that this is the best first move for creators, right? And really, I recommend it if you actually use those products, and really if people respond well, especially if it's for, you know, a low price product. Let's say it's $100 a month product. You can earn 30% commission. That means you earn $30 for every single sale, and this is recurring, right? So let's say if it's for AI tools, which is what the affiliate rage is all about right now, if you make a single sale on $100 a month product, for as long as that customer stays with that company, $100 a month, you will get $30 a month every single month. It is as close to passive income, and it is really easy in order to liquidate your video cost. So let's say your cost to produce the video is $200, right? As long as you get 5 sales, let's say 8 sales of a $100 a month product, and you get $30 a month, everything else is profit, and it pays for multiple videos, and that way you are running a profitable YouTube business. So you'll want to do the math whenever you are running affiliates. And last but not least, the last way to monetize is consulting, coaching, or courses, right? I lumped all of them together because they're all kind of the same thing. You are basically selling information, right? And Iman Gaji over here is one of the top gurus. He's, you know, one of the best in terms of selling these $1,000, $1,500 courses. He's done really well. And how this works is you sell your thinking, right? You sell your audits, one-on-one group coaching programs, courses. You basically are selling pieces of information. And this is also a really beautiful business. This is something that I've also done a little bit of, right? Because it's really high margin, right? You don't really need a team in order to fulfill it. You can do it one person, and you can do all of it with AI. You can create the course of AI. You can create the implementation of AI. And as long as you have specific knowledge and you know where to direct the AI towards, this is a really great business. It scales way better than services, at least up to a certain point, up to the point where you're making $200,000 every month, where that's kind of the ceiling over there, but it scales really well. And it also makes you the authority, right? It helps you boost your content. But the problem is, right, number one, it's hard to sell without credibility first, right? If you do not have credibility, you can't really sell information products. You must be pretty well known inside of your niche and have a solution that people want that is gated at the back, right? General coaching is impossible to differentiate, right? Because if you're just doing general coaching and you're not solving any certain problem, you need some level of business knowledge in order to execute selling these info products. So you need to be ahead of the game in that case, right? If you don't have a unique positioning, if you don't have a unique way that is differentiates you from the rest, it's kind of going to be hard to stand out. And really, some clients won't do the work and blame you, which is actually 90%, right? 90% of people who purchase these courses do not actually consume it fully. So that's something that you'll want to take into consideration when you are offering these products to your customers, right? Hey, how much success would they actually have? And this is something you must understand whenever you sell info, whenever you sell these coaches coursing, whenever you sell these courses, 90% of people won't actually implement and won't get the result that they want. So my take, you want to package your info product or your course as a specific outcome, not just a vague advice, right? You want to give them, let's say, a retention rewrite or a 90-day content plan or hook audit or clear deliverable that beats that, hey, I'll just coach you. So this is something that you want to heavily consider whenever you are offering these coaches, consulting, coaching, or courses. So if I had to pick exactly which one that I wanted to prioritize, right, I would, number one, start with affiliates, right? Because affiliates is the most leverage that you can have. It compounds and it's low overhead and it's the most easy to start, right? Where you can get an affiliate link, you can go to any AI tool out there and you can become an affiliate immediately, right? You don't even need to have the tool in order to become an affiliate, and you can promote that tool, play around with that tool, showcase that tool, and you immediately get affiliate sales. It is literally like magic. If you have never made a single dollar online, affiliates is where I would start with, because you can literally make a YouTube video, the most low quality video, it get 100 views, and you can still get affiliate sales. It is literally like magic. Number two, what I would do is consulting, right? Consulting is really high margin. It builds authority for you, and it's also a really easy way to monetize. As long as you're an educational channel and people know you for being an expert at a certain thing, you can sell one-to-one calls, right? Let's say you were to sell a $100 call for 30 minutes. You can just sell your time like that, and that is an easy way in order to get consulting clients, and you can upsell them into like $1,000 a month program, $2,000 a month program. Or you can take the learnings that you initially started with on the consulting end and package that into higher level content that you can then sell as a course. You can do that too. Number three, it's services, right? It's for only if you want fast cash and you can systemize it, right? Services are really great to also get started, but you have to deliver that service. And if you want to reach scale, you have to build systems. If you are more of a systems thinking person and you're like, hey, step A, step B, step C, step D, step E, right? You can learn systems, and then services or agency is a really great place to get started. So that's also something that you'll want to consider. And lastly, sponsorships, right? I think sponsorships, for the most part, is more of an add-on for most YouTube creators than it is a main income source. I know more people who have affiliates, consulting services as their main income source, and sponsorships is one of those things that is on the side that actually supplements it. But sponsorships is really, really difficult in order to get going because it's not very consistent. It is in line with your viewership. What you actually want to do is build a business outside of YouTube rather than solely relying on getting YouTube bangers over and over and over again, because not always will you get consistent 100,000 views. You want to optimize for those downswings, and sponsorships just isn't quite it for me. So yeah, that is my full stack. If I had to pick, I would start with affiliates and then go into consulting services, sponsorships, but you want to lean into your strengths. You do not want to just pick one of these random ones and just because Brian said to go into it, that you go into it. You want to pick the one that leans into your strength, and then you can double down on it. Hopefully this helps. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.